everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter, and I am here with a quick and easy Easter card project for you. Just wanted to give you a little inspiration right before Easter. And so I am using the Candy Bunny die. This is how it comes from Lifestyle Crafts here. And I'm also going to be using the stamp set That's Pennylicious by My Pink Stamper. So let's get started. I have 5 of my little candy bunnies punched out or die cut, and these, when I saw this is actually a die that came out last year, but when I saw these, they reminded me of Peeps. So I went ahead and cut these out in all different Eastery colors here, and they're going to go on my card something like this, so you can kind of get an idea. But what I wanted to do was really make these look like the candy Peeps, and to me, when I think of those, I think of the sugar-coated candy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take all of these, I'm going to put them face down through my Xyron, and that's going to actually put adhesive on the front side of these. Now, this is so I can adhere some glitter to the front, and the glitter that I'm using is kind of a different type of glitter. It's not like a really shimmery or iridescent. It just looks like sugar, and I'll show you that in just a second. But first I'm just going to run these through. And like I said, I'm running these through face down. Now, there's not a huge difference between the top and the bottom. They kind of go both ways on this. And I think I just ran out of adhesive. So that was just the perfect amount. And then what I do is I just rub around and get the edges of these. Now, you can use a stylus and do this. I tend to use my fingers and then just take the little extra goobers or boogers, adhesive boogers off with my fingers or a little adhesive eraser tool. But what I'm going to do is just get these nice and rubbed around here. Take that off of there, and then that pulls all of that extra adhesive that's around, stays on that clear part, and I can just toss that. So now when I pull these up, I'll show you. They now have the adhesive on the front side, which is going to allow me to attach that. I have that, and then this is the glitter I'm going to be using. It's the Crystal Fine Glitter by Martha Stewart's Crafts, and I am going to use this piece of scrap paper here. I'm just going to fold it in half and lay it open here, and I'm just going to take all of these and lay them with the adhesive side up on my little work surface here. Now I have that all covered. I'm going to open my glitter up and just cover these generously with the glitter. Now everything that I have on this paper I can just put back in. I don't really like to put my fingers in the glitter, so I am just going to take an extra sheet of paper, kind of rub it around on top of these, and then press over to get that glitter really pressed in. I don't really like to have the glitter all over me. So I'm just going to do that. Take this up. And then I'm going to grab these out with a pair of tweezers. So now that I have my little candy bunnies done, I'm going to go ahead and create my sentiment piece. I'm using some Colorbox chalk ink in Chestnut Roan, and I haven't had a whole lot of experience with this chalk ink. It's still kind of something that's new to me. I'm using the You're My Favorite Peep stamp from the That's Pennylicious stamp set by My Pink Stamper, and I'm just inking this up, and then I have a little banner cut out. Now this is from one of my very favorite Lifestyle Crafts die sets. This is called the Banners and Arrows die set. I love to use this for sentiments, and it's perfect with the photopolymer, clear photopolymer stamps, like My Pink Stamper stamps, because you can actually then form those straight sentiments to match the curve of that banner. So I'm just inking this up really good, and then I am going to stamp this right on that banner, and you can see how my sentiment piece, or my sentiment matches the curve of my banner, and I've just shaped it onto my block like that. So there is my little sentiment here. I can set that aside. And I have brought in here just a green card base that matches my little green bunnies here. And then this is a piece of letterpress paper that I have just dry embossed. Now, dry embossing is when you use the letterpress plates, which this is here. If you can see that little dot pattern in there, that's from the Wintertide letterpress printing plate set. But what I've done is I've just run it through in my letterpress tool, just like you were going to letterpress, only I have not used ink on it. So I just get that pattern. It's a nice pattern on that letterpress paper. And I am going to go ahead and wrap a piece of ribbon. This ribbon is from Stampin' Up. It matches, coordinates with the paper that I'm using. So I'm just going to cut a piece of this off and wrap it around my card piece here. Just tying it in a quick knot there. And looks like I had it a little bit crooked, so I can tighten that up. And then I think it's going to go right about there. I am not going to adhere this onto my card base yet because I have to kind of place my little candy bunnies and my sentiment, and then I can kind of adjust this ribbon up and down as I need to. So, and I may even cut that a little shorter. I'm going to set this card base aside and go ahead and start working with my little bunnies again. I am going to adhere these to the front of the card using dimensional adhesive. And they'll kind of be in an arched pattern. The trash man is here. Can you hear him? Now this is where a grid mat comes in really handy because I can go ahead and place this on my grid mat and find my center point, which is right here. So if I just go ahead and put that on there, and then I can place my bunnies accordingly. A little shaky today. Oops. Okay, so now that I have it figured out where I want everything to go, I can just start adhering these on. Start with my center point. I like to start in the center because then I can kind of compare the sides, you know, to each other as I'm doing it. But, you know, whatever works for you. I find that in an instance like this where I have an odd number of things that are going onto the front of the card, this center point, finding that center point and adhering that one first helps me. Okay, I have my little bunnies on there. It looks like my ribbon's in a pretty good spot. I'm just going to tighten that up just a little bit more. And I have my sentiment here. That's just going to go right on the bottom there. I'm going to go ahead and let these ends overlap just a little. The piece of white letterpress paper is actually cut a little bit smaller than the card. So I have a little play area over here that I can like let that overlap the end of the card there. So I have this already put on dimensional adhesive. I'm going to just remove that. That just kind of allows a little contrast on this edge too, where you can actually see the banner end since it is a white on white piece. Now, my final step is just to take this whole entire card front. Normally I would work with this already on the card base, but because I wanted to be able to play with my ribbon, I went ahead and left this till the last part to adhere. Sometimes when you get some of this dimensional pieces on here, it's hard to put adhesive on the back, but I tend to make it work. So I'm just going to adhere that onto the front there. And there is my card project today. Remember, you can always go to my blog, sprinkledwithglitter.com, to get more information. Sometimes I have some discount codes on there, so you may want to check it out. But I just love the way this turned out with the fun pastel Easter colors and the You're My Favorite Peep sentiment. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.